Okay, there we go. My shit like froze for a second. I was like, what the hell?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm good now, but like it froze for like a hot second there.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Man, I got so many fucking windows open. This is
Yeah.
a nightmare. Yeah.
You know that feeling. My God. My cat keeps fucking with me and it's driving me crazy. Go away. I was on Reddit. See if we can find that guy again. There's this guy who was so fat. Like 1,000 pounds. He was like the second fattest man in the world.
What? Second fattest? Who's the fattest?
Yeah, he's like 1,000. I don't know, some American guy, I think. Anyway, point is, this guy was so fat. He was in Israel. No, Saudi Arabia. That the Saudi Arabian president was like, "Yo, you got to go on a diet," and he started like a government-funded diet and exercise routine for this guy.
What?
Yeah.
Did it work?
Yeah, he's been at it for like 5 years, and he went down from like 1,000 pounds to like 150.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Hold on. So I can find the article. Khalid bin Mohsen Shari was his name. I said is his name. He's still alive. He was 22 and he weighed 1,340 pounds.
What the fuck?
Okay, so he was the heaviest person alive, but he was the second heaviest person in history.
How does that? How do you even function?
I guess you don't. But yeah, the Saudi Arabian king ordered him from his home to Jazan, which is like the medical city of Saudi Arabia, in the country's capital. And he basically put him on a diet and exercise routine, a government-funded diet and exercise routine.
But they had to like do like they had to like remove like
skin and shit.
Right?
Oh yeah.
But like before, you can't exercise at all if you're.
So here's the thing. I didn't know this. If you weigh over like 800 pounds, your body burns like thousands of calories a day just existing.
Yeah.
So if you just like eat like a normal person, you could lose like a good like 50 pounds just doing that. And then it's a matter of just like getting to like a rhythm of very light exercise, because even light exercise is enough to like, because of how much weight there is and how much your body needs to work to like keep you breathing.
Yeah.
It's like can burn a ton of calories. So yeah, I assume I don't have like the full fucking like spreadsheet here of their routine, but I would assume it started out with like, you know, a diet, maybe some light exercise, just like waving his arms around probably. And then when he was able to walk is when it escalated up to that. Oh no, by November 2017, so he was discovered in like 2013. And by November 2017, he had lost 1,195 pounds and weighed about 150 pounds. And in January 28, he had the last set of surgery to remove like his excess skin and stuff.
Jeez.
Yeah,
What's he
can you
look like
fucking?
now?
I don't know. Good question.
Like, is he like a fucking Chad now?
I sent the link to the Wikipedia article. Yeah, he looks like a normal Saudi Arabian dude.
There's no images in this article.
No, there isn't. I found like an article though. Is that Smooth McGroove? That sounds like Smooth McGroove.
Yeah.
But can you imagine, like, I assume the king of Saudi Arabia only got involved because he made the country look bad. That's like that's our only assumption. Like, that doesn't just happen. You know? You don't just do that for the betterment of like your citizens. That's like, hey, you're the fattest person alive right now, second fattest person in history. Let's like do something about this because you're a fucking embarrassment. It's like my only guess here. Oh my God. To maintain, if you're like over 1,000 pounds at like 25, let's say. Actually, the guy was 33. Let's put that in this calculator here. Oh my God. To maintain that kind of weight at that age, you need to consume 10,198 calories a day.
Where do you even find that?
There's a diet calculator I found online.
I mean, where do you find 1,000 calories?
Oh, yeah, I know, let alone 10,000 calories. That's like
10,000, yeah.
Yeah. Let me see something. I'm trying to think of like some of the God, like half a cup of ice cream is like 100 calories, 137 calories. So I can't imagine like a whole pint. Yeah, a whole pint of ice cream is like 1,000 calories. Imagine eating like 10 of those a day. Or the equivalent of 10 of those a day to maintain that weight. And that's the thing, he was like maintaining it. So he was eating a fuck ton of food a day just to keep it that weight. As even if he ate, like, according to this calculator here, like 9,948 calories a day, so only like 100 calories less a day, he could lose like half a pound a week. If he ate 9,198 calories a day, so only like 90% of his normal caloric intake, he'd lose 2 pounds a week just based on his weight alone. Like, imagine being so fat you can eat 9 pints of ice cream and still lose weight. That is wild to me. And not doing anything. It's not like you have to like work out or anything. Like, that's crazy to me. That's wild.
You have to be some sort of royalty. He had to be some sort of royalty or something. Like,
I don't know, man.
How do you fund that existence? That's just a very expensive lifestyle, right?
I don't know, man. I would assume so.
Like, buy all that food.
You would think so, but I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. I don't know the work that goes into that. That's just crazy to me, though. Like, that's why it's important to like maintain, like, I can't say this, I'm overweight myself, but I've had people tell me like, oh, you have health insurance, why don't you get what is that fucking thing, that like stomach, that like gastric bypass or whatever, because my wife did that and it's gotten her some great results. But I'm like, because I know I don't need it. Like, I don't have like a hormone deficiency or something. I don't need it. That's why I don't want to do it. Also, it's like, it's a surgery. It's not like a quick fix. Like, there's a lot of stuff I can't eat after I do that.
What kind of asshole would like even
like suggest that?
Yeah, it's like someone's looking at you and going, you know what would do you some good? Is like if you got one of those like gastric bypasses. Like if someone looked at me
fair,
like
my wife did that, so that's where it started coming up. Like, why don't you do that just like your wife did? And I'm like, 'cause that's what worked for her. Like, the thing is, I know what I got to do to lose weight. I just don't do it.
Yeah.
This is gonna be hard to believe, but like, I worked out quite a bit in high school. I was always a chubby kid, and then in high school I was like, I'm not gonna do this anymore. So I started exercising, I started jogging, I started eating right. I was at a point where I was jogging like 5 nights a week, and I was jogging like 3 miles a night.
Yeah.
I can do like, like I got slower as I started jogging more. So my first mile, I could knock it out in like 6-7 minutes. And that second mile took me like 7-8 minutes. And the third mile took me like 9 to 10 almost. So I got slower every time, but I was able to do like a 6-7 minute mile. I can't do that shit now, obviously, but
Yeah.
And I lost like a ton of weight. Yeah, I lost like a ton of weight, so I know I can do it. I don't have like a hormone deficiency or some other like issue. I'm just like lazy. That's why I don't want to do it. I don't want to get surgery if there's like I have alternatives. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's an app called Couch to 5K. I don't know if it's still around, but I used to use it back in the days where it would like work you up. It would like start out really slow. Start out with let's like walking, and then it would do like, okay, now walk for a minute and then run for 30 seconds, and then it would slowly work you up into doing like a 5K.
There's a couple different apps that look like that. There's Couch to Running 5K, there's C2 5K, there's 5K Runner app, there's an actual app that's straight called Couch to 5K, and it's like a $5 app. Is that it?
I don't know if I paid for it. I don't remember, but that's what it was called. It was called Couch to 5K. And yeah, it just starts out very easy. Just like, hey, just walk. And then, okay, now walk for 2 minutes. And then run for 30 seconds.
Fuck it, I might do it. It's only $5, so fuck it.
Yeah.
I want to get back into it. Like I wasn't in like awesome shape. I wasn't like an athlete or anything, but I took care of myself. Like I was in a pretty good place. But like, okay, some confession time here now. When I was doing that, right, I was not like the happiest like state of mind when I was doing that. Like you don't go from like overweight to like running 3 miles a night over the course of like your summer vacation in a healthy way. And I would like run to the point where like I was hurting myself, and people were like complimenting me. They were like, oh my God, you look so good now. You know what I mean? So it's like, if I was cutting myself, people would be like, oh, you need to get some help. But that was not what was happening. I was losing weight. So people were like, oh, keep going. Keep doing it. You're doing awesome. Like, I know there's a middle ground between like doing nothing and then like that. There's like a middle ground there.
Yeah.
And I will find it one day. It's just people ask why I don't do it anymore. And it's like, well, I'm happy now. Like, I'm in a good place right now. Like, I want to get healthier, of course, so I could be around longer. You know, I can see my son get married and stuff, but I gotta find that, like, balance, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, my, where I work has a gym. They have a gym where I work.
Yeah.
I just get off and then go over there for like 30 minutes. I just do like 30 minutes on the elliptical.
That's probably not a bad idea. I have a gym at my work too, so I should just like bring a gym bag and just like change into some gym clothes after work and just like run on a treadmill for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know. My wife bought like a walking treadmill, so I can probably just get on that when I'm at home or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's a way to start. I just gotta like do it. But yeah, we're a video game podcast, not a health podcast. Sorry to like derail, but yeah, that was a wild story I read about that I was like, I gotta tell someone about this.
All right. I think we're ready.
All right, I'm ready when you are. Hit that shit.
Shout out to Game Chops for the jam.
Yep, Game Chops.
Okay, here we go.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
What's up, everybody? This is Podcast Game Overs episode 187 on an Undercover Cop. It's Thursday, August 22, 2024. I am Wasabi Ice Cream, joined, as always, by Rick. What's up?
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Rick. I'm here, you're here. We're all here to talk about some video games. Gamescom just happened, so we're going to talk about that quite a bit. Yeah. Before we get into Gamescom news, we always start, man. Tell people what you've been playing.
Okay, played a lot of Diablo.
Yes, I've been playing quite a bit of Diablo. Not a lot, but quite a bit.
And so I started a barbarian,
Yeah.
and I hate it. I hate the barbarian, man. I don't know. It's like
Yeah.
so slow. It's single target stuff is like really bad. Like it's like really bad for bossing, or at least the build that I'm doing. I went with like a kind of like a bleed build, like focusing on a lot of bleeding damage, and it seems like it's bad. It seems bad for like single target stuff. But like if there was like a bunch of enemies, it's really good. He has like a charge ability. Oh, my barb, I named him Barbara Cush. Yeah.
I was wondering how you get creative with the weed names here, but you managed to bring it home. Good job. Out there.
And yeah, I don't know. Like the barb's just super slow. It's actually the barb is like way more complicated than you think. I don't know if you've checked out the barb yet, but they have a bunch of different weapon types that they can switch between, and every type of weapon does something different. Like it has a different focus on like, hey, this one, exposes vulnerability. This one gives you increased lucky hit chance. This one increases like bleeding damage. And each ability, you can set each ability to use a specific weapon type, like based on like whatever you need it to do. And I saw that shit and I was like, this is more than I thought. This was just going to be like a brainless hack and slash in true barbarian fashion, but it's like way more complicated than I thought it would be.
Yeah, there's a lot more to it than like I expected when I first played it.
But like I kept playing the barb. I got my barb to like 80. It's like level 80 now, and like it's starting to get into a spot where I'm like, okay, I can see where this can end up, but it's just not. It's still not where it needs to be in terms of like killing bosses. It's just nowhere.
Yeah.
It's nowhere. Like its boss killing abilities is severely lacking. But if it's like a group of enemies, like I have a charge ability that just rushes motherfuckers and then everything explodes. And then if a boss happens to get caught in that explosion, then I can take it out really quickly. But if it's just a boss and it's just the only enemy on the screen, it's way harder.
Yeah.
It's just, like that ability works off of other things being there and then like having like a chain reaction set up. So, and
did you end up switching characters, or are you still just running with that barb or the barb right now?
Because I already got my rogue. I already did a rogue up to level 100. So I was like, well, let's try something else now. And I tried the barb. And yeah, I got that to like.
Druid's a lot of fun.
Druid, I might do up another one. Yeah, I don't know, because the barb is just not. I figured because now they have the XP buff started like yesterday. So I figured I could just get this barb to 100 because you get stuff for like leveling everything up to 100, or like you get the titles and the unlocks or whatever. So I'm like, oh, what if there's a good weed based title that I can unlock by playing the barb? I'll never know. Because right now my title is like Mad Vapor.
You're telling me that?
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, well, this is a good title I can unlock by. Yeah, I don't know why I'm doing this weed thing, by the way.
It's funny.
It was just, it's funny, and just to see how crazy funny I can get it. But yeah, Infernal Hordes, man, that Infernal Hordes mode is godlike for leveling.
It's so much fun, dude, and it's so much fun. Like,
yeah.
Oh man, I just unlocked the actual like horde challenges. No, what am I thinking about? The Infernal Horde is like when the Infernal Horde is with that timed event, right? For like an hour. When everything's like crazy. What is it? I'm trying to remember what like the technical term for everything.
The Helltide?
Yeah, the Helltide. So yeah, the Infernal Horde is like the wave mode, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's fucking dope. Like, it's so much fun.
It's just incredible for leveling because it's just tons of fucking enemies, and I pop all of my like XP potions or whatever. You go in there, you're guaranteed at least one level, maybe 1.5 per run. And then at the end of every run, you get to open these chests that has like a bunch of gear in them, and it's just good. It's good.
Yeah, and not just that, but like as you're doing the run, you could like add modifiers to make it harder, and those modifiers give you extra pulls on those chests.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm basically taking like whatever gives me the most pulls every time I run through it.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
I've just been doing it to level. I just go in there, I do like a tier 2 one, and I just level up. That's all. I haven't been caring about the ether drops, because the gear that unless you're doing the level 100 one, which is like the tier 3, you're not gonna get good loot out of it. You know, you're not gonna get the 925s. So, and I can't do the tier 3 because my barb fucking sucks. So
I'm embarrassed to say I'm running through tier 3 super easy because I wanted to do something different this season, but I wanted to play Necromancer. But I was like, I've been playing like the meta Necromancer, which is like the Bone Spear build. And I'm like, that's fun, but like I want to do something different. So I want to do like an all summoning Necromancer this season. So literally all my abilities are just like on my summons. All my aspects revolve around my summons. And the only abilities I have that are like not summon related are like corpse powers, like my corpse explosion, corpse tendril, and like a curse. So I could like weaken enemies so my minions can kill them faster. And I gotta say, it's effective, but it's really fucking boring. It's really fucking boring. Because it's not as active as like Diablo 3 or even Diablo 2. We can like choose where your minions attack. So a lot of it's just me managing resources, making sure my minions are topped off, making sure like if one dies, I replace them pretty quickly. If I use my summon skeleton skill and my skeletons are like maxed out, it summons like a skeleton priest to like buff up my minions and heal them a little bit. So I have to fire that off every couple seconds. Using corpse explosion to like kill stragglers that get away. It's a lot of like micromanaging, and it's not the most engaging way to play it, if I'm being totally honest.
Yeah.
It's super easy though. My God, it's so fucking easy, dude. Like it's insane how easy the game is now. Like,
yeah, my rogue is disgusting. My rogue is absolutely like godlike. Yeah. But yeah, I just decided to like switch it up. I got another one to level 100, and I was like, okay, let me do something else. And I feel like the barbarian. I like to play classes that no one really plays. So, I thought the rogue was one of those, and I thought the barbarian was one of those, and like the sorcerer, until it got good, like when they buffed them. But yeah, it's just the barbarian.
It's still a lot of fun, and it gets slept on quite a bit. And it's a lot of fun to play, depending on the build you run through. Because like Druid's crazy. You can play kind of however you want. You can play, if you want to do just like elemental magic, you can do that. Just like cast like storms and earthquakes and tornadoes and shit. If you want to focus on transforming, you can be a werewolf or like a werebear. There's even the abilities you have if you swap between like werewolf and werebear a lot. So like there's a lot of flexibility in how you want to play a druid. Like it's a lot of fun. Like it starts out super slow, but once you get some good aspects going, you kind of figure out how you want to play it. It can be a lot of fun, really rewarding class to play. Like Necro and Druid are like my favorite classes right now.
That was the thing that I realized with the Barbarian, is that I started toward a certain build, and then when I went to look at the aspects, I realized that there wasn't a single aspect for the skills that I was using. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, there's
I'm sure
nothing
there are,
for
you
these
just haven't dropped.
No, there's not, because you can search for the in the thing for the skill that you're using, and like whatever has that thing in it will come up. So I searched for my skills, and there was just nothing in there.
You
And I
know
was
what it
like,
probably is? It's probably the uniques, because those don't show up in the aspect list.
oh yeah, yeah.
There's probably like some uniques you need to like really look for. Like that's one thing about the game that's like super tricky, is like a lot of the really good skills are locked behind uniques, which when you get one, it's like, it's fucking cool, but you don't have that flexibility to like pull the aspect off of that unique and put it on something else. Like you gotta run that unique if you want to do it.
Yeah.
And a lot of times if you're leveling up, it's impossible to like level up a certain build without that unique.
And that's the thing, you don't know what uniques exist until either it drops or you just go to some like third-party website that has them all listed out.
Yeah, that's a pain in the ass. I'll admit that's a huge pain in the ass.
But yeah, I don't know. The barb, I kept sticking with the barb because I kept finding like, I found one skill that was like, okay, this might be the turning point. But I just need the buff. It's the charge one, but it's only good if there's like a ton of enemies. Because when I catch a bunch of motherfuckers in there, they all explode, and then if there happens to be like a boss in that explosion, they just get fucked up. But if there's no enemies and it's just one boss that I'm fighting, it's completely useless. So like that's the problem. Like unless the boss like spawns some ads, I cannot get it done. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm looking for. But yeah, it was fun once I found that out. So yeah, I'm gonna keep playing. Maybe I'll do like a necromancer. Maybe that sounds.
Necromancer's a lot of fun. Like Necromancer's a lot of fun. The build I'm running with, I looked it up after I decided this is what I want to do. Just wanted to see like what was out there, like what people put together to give me kind of an idea. And my main thing too is I didn't want to like worry about uniques. I didn't want to have a build that like really needed uniques to like carry me. And the build I put together is effective, but it's fucking boring. I'll admit it's kind of boring to play through because I'm seriously just like watching my minions do everything, and I'm occasionally like popping off some stuff to help them out. It's pretty boring. So I'm debating on like, once I max out this character, starting up another character, or just right now just changing my build completely.
Sure.
But that's gonna be a huge pain in the ass if I do that. So. But yeah, again, that's gonna be a huge pain in the ass if I do that. It's gonna be a huge pain in the ass.
Yeah. So that's Diablo. I also got I got some new hardware. I got a leverless fight pad, a leverless joystick controller.
Ooh, how's that going?
Well, I got it for zero intention on playing fighting games with.
Oh.
I got it just for DJ Max, which is a rhythm game. And it is fucking incredible. It is incredible. This thing, it's like $50. This thing was like $50. And it's super small, super lightweight. Like you could probably fit this in like your booty pocket. If you got like big butt pockets, you could probably slide this in there. And
I think booty pocket means something else, man, on the context, but okay.
Oh. But yeah, it's a Hout 42 S16 leverless fight pad joystick. I don't know what the fuck. There's no joystick on it, but I think they still call it a joystick. But yeah, it's just buttons, man. It's just a bunch of buttons. And I saw this thing and I was like, this would be perfect for DJ Max. Zero intention of actually fighting with this thing, but for DJ Max, this is perfect because I can get.
What'd you get it on? Did you get it like off Amazon or?
It's on Amazon. Yeah.
The Hout G16 leverless. Is that what you said?
S16.
S16. Okay.
Yeah, it's like $50. It's like $50 on Amazon. And it's like a tiny thing, man. It's tiny, but it's very well built. And the reason I got this one specifically for DJ Max is because DJ Max, you need all 10 fingers, and this thing has extra buttons on it that are just it has extra buttons that you can get all 10 fingers on the thing at once. Some of these things that I've seen, because I've been looking at a few of these over the past like months, but none of them had enough buttons. So I would look at it and I would try to like see like, okay, can I use this for? No, it's not gonna work. I need like every finger on this thing. This thing has buttons for every finger plus more. You know, you can get like a couple toes on there. Yeah.
I thought of getting a leverless fight stick just to try one. And that might not be a bad idea, just to give it a shot. Because like I grew up on a stick, man. Like I can't imagine anything else.
Yeah.
But I've heard so many good things about like leverless sticks. I'm like, maybe I should try it just to see.
It's really good. The only thing is there's a there's a learning curve. You know, like you're not gonna just load this thing up and immediately be at the same level you were at without it. Like there is a learning curve to kind of wrapping your head around it.
I'm sure there is, but like I've been fighting with a stick for so long, I think like I can work my way around that curve a little bit.
Yeah.
Because looking at it, it's like the way the pad's set up, using my thumb to like up, which would be like jump in most fighting games, left, right finger, middle finger for down. I think I could figure it out. Like I'm trying to figure out how to like just doing a Hadouken would be like pretty easy, I think.
Yeah.
Like I'm fucking around like pretending it's there, and I'm like, I think I can make this work.
Yeah, it's really good. It's extremely well built. Like $50. I'm like, holy shit, man. This thing's like very fucking well built. It looks really cool. It's got this like translucent finish on both the front and the back. It comes with like extra replaceable buttons just in case you break something or want to replace something. It's easy to open. It's it just feels good. I don't know if you can hear that.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, those switches sound pretty hot, dude. Like,
yeah.
Are those like low profile switches? Because they're not super loud.
I think so. I don't even know if it's mechanical, to be honest. I think it just feels mechanical, but there might be...
Yeah, it's springy, but I can't tell if it's like a low profile mechanical buttons or if it's a membrane.
Yeah.
But it's too loud to be like a normal membrane, but it's also like too quiet, I think, to be mechanical. But also, I'm hearing it over your mic, so like,
yeah,
if I was there fucking around with them, so I can figure it out.
There's no like tension to it, you know. It doesn't like click. It's just a real smooth like action. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's all I have to say about that. It's a really cool, really nice
little device
controller. Yeah. And then I also got like an actual controller. So my Xbox Elite V2 controller, I'm finally giving up on it. You know, the thing that everyone says about the bumpers, and then, you know, I'm like, I never had any issues with the bumpers, so what the fuck? Well, now I was starting to have issues with the bumpers, man. Yeah, the left
What's the issue with the bumpers?
The left bumper just stopped like registering consistently.
Ooh.
Like depending on how it hit it, it just wouldn't go off. So I was like, I've opened the thing up a couple times just to fix whatever like issues I was having with it. And that, you know, went pretty well. It's like easy to open. It's easy to get in there and kind of just fix stuff. But I don't know. I think I finally had it with this with the bumper issues.
I have a Gen 1 Elite controller, like the Series 1 Elite controller.
Yeah.
And it still works great. I've never had any issues with it. So it surprised me. People are like, oh, these controllers are awesome, but they keep falling apart or breaking. I'm like, I've literally never had that issue. I've had this for like ever.
Yeah, and like
I also don't use it that much. That's probably why. But
oh yeah, see, my thing, I use it every day.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah. And, I only use it. So when I got it with my PC, I literally just got it to play some games I won't use a mouse and keyboard for. So like platformers, some fighting games. And even then, when I got my Xbox, it works on my Xbox, but I don't use it. I just use the controller the Xbox came with. And Like this stays at my computer desk, and I use it pretty much exclusively on my computer. And I don't exclusively play computer games with a controller, so maybe that's it. I just haven't like used it. The worst I got is like the rubber grip on the back of it came off a little bit, which I guess is a thing. Like if your hands get hot, it like warps the rubber a little bit. So even if you glue it back down, like it's not like gonna stay the same. So it comes out a little bit, but other than that, like it feels fantastic. I haven't had any issues with it.
It's not a case of if, it's a case of when, I think. Because I've had mine for like a few years now, and it's only just now starting to really, because the grips are completely coming off to a point where like I have like a rubber skin over the entire controller. Yeah, because the grips are completely just fucked, and then having that skin over it makes it so that the back paddles are almost impossible to use. I can't use it with the normal D-pad because it's too recessed into the controller, so I have to use it with that shitty ass circle pad. It just got to a point where it's just I cannot use that thing anymore. So
that's a bummer.
I got the China's #1 controller, the FlyDigi Vader 3 or Vader 4. I think it's the 4. This thing just came out like weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
FlyDigi Vader 4 Pro. This controller is the greatest controller I've ever used in my fucking life, dude. It is so good.
I'm trying to see. You got an image of it?
Yeah, I got it up on the in the stream now.
I've used that brand FlyDigi. I think I've used them before.
Yeah.
I think. Hold on, keep talking. I'm gonna find my controller. I think it's a FlyDigi. Keep talking.
This thing's incredible because you can tell that these guys make controllers. I mean, that's all they do. They just make controllers. So you can tell that they've learned a lot of things from all the years that they've been spent making controllers. And this is pinnacle. This is pinnacle controller right here. Very well might be the last controller I ever have to buy in my life. Which I said the same thing.
FlyDigi Vader 4. Yeah. Continue.
This thing just came out. This one just came out. Yeah.
Yeah.
This one's brand fucking new.
It's only $80, really? Shit.
$80. Yeah. And I got the limited edition Assassin's Creed Black Flag. For whatever reason, they're making Black Flag controllers in 2024. It was like a 2015 game. 2014, 2015 game. So I have no idea why Black Flag is the one. They got a new one coming out. I don't know why they didn't do that. But anyway, this controller is fucking awesome because it uses Hall effect everything.
Yeah.
Micro switches on everything. It's like everything feels like a mouse click almost. And sounds like one too. Wait, let me see if I can get this on the mic.
Oh shit.
Like the whole controller feels and sounds incredible. And then around the thumbsticks, that's not just for show. That like little like metal looking thing on the thumbsticks, you can crank that and it increases or decreases the tension on the sticks. So if you want like a heavier stick, you can just crank that wheel and then the stick is heavier or lighter. Which like other controllers do. The Elite controller does that, but the Elite only has like 3 settings, it has like 1, 2, and 3. This has like, I don't know, 10, 11. Like,
that's pretty tough.
Or I don't even know if it has like set settings. You can just crank it and it just has like an infinite. I mean, it stops, it bottoms out at the top and bottom, but in between it's just like an infinite amount. You can get it exactly where you want it.
I can vouch for them. FlyDigi's pretty good. I have a so I should disclose I got it for free to review it. You can see my review on the Amazon page. It's a FlyDigi Direwolf 2 controller. I got it specifically because I wanted something for my Switch. and I was surprised how good it was. Like it's on sale for like $30 right now, but I think it normally is like 50. And yeah, same thing. Hall effect joysticks. It feels fucking comfortable. I was surprised. This is like the best third-party controller I've ever had. So to hear that like they have like premium controllers that are honestly the same price like a regular first-party controller, it's like incredible to me to hear that. Like that's really cool. But yeah, the Vader 4 Pro. That sounds. I'm looking at the Amazon page now. And it looks fucking awesome.
It's great, man. I like that it has the it has like the additional triggers on the back. It's got 4 of those on the back and then another 2 on the front of the controller.
I love that. You know me, I love my like back triggers. I love my back triggers.
Yeah. And
the only downside I'm looking at it here is it's not compatible with PlayStation and Xbox right now.
Yeah. But I mean, fucking just use it. Use on PC. I mean,
yeah. Well, what's interesting is that the description says supported platforms: PC, Switch, TV, Android, laptop. Not support Xbox and PlayStation so far.
Yeah.
Which, like, if there's plans to do like a firmware update to make that happen later, that's cool. But
here's something I didn't know about. Actually, so the leverless pad, right? There's something about PlayStation when it comes to third-party controllers that they just do not allow. They do not allow anything that's not like officially licensed. So to get this like this fight stick, this fight pad, to get this to work on a PS5, you have to plug in. There's a USB slot on the right side, full-size USB. You have to plug in a fucking PS5 controller into that slot when you hook this up to a PS5. Like you have to plug in a DualSense into the fight stick to get it to work on a PS5. Otherwise, the PS5 like warns you, hey, this is an unofficial controller. We're gonna kick you out in like 5 minutes if you don't plug in an official. Like it lets you play with it for like 5 minutes, but after that, it like kicks you out unless you plug in like an official controller. It's the stupidest fucking thing.
The same thing happened with my fucking Xbox. So like I think I told you, I bought this fight stick for my PS4 back in the day, and it was a Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite fight stick by Mad Catz. No, by Razer. So it was a good ass fight stick. I got it on sale. It was like a $250 fight stick. I got it on sale for like $100. So I picked it up. And my idea was gonna be my last fight stick back when I was still a PlayStation guy. And well, I got my Xbox. I got Street Fighter for that. So I was like, fuck, I gotta get something now. I don't want to buy another fight stick. So what I did is I bought a Brook Wingman adapter to adapt it to my Xbox. And it worked for about a week.
Shit.
And then a week later, Microsoft, I got a message on my Xbox. I was like, hey, we recognize this is not an official Xbox controller. We've already logged its like credentials, and if we're gonna stop supporting it in like a month or like 2 weeks, something like that. So I'm like, what the fuck? And it frustrated me because it worked for like a week, and then I guess like they recently like updated it, so it wasn't supporting these third-party adapters anymore. And I messaged Brooke, and I'm like, hey, is there a plan to do this? Like, yeah, we have a firmware update set to come out next week. And I'm like, great, because like my shit's not gonna work in like 2 weeks. And they're like, yeah, we have an update coming out next week. I'm like, okay, I got like 30 days to return the shit. So I tried the update. I did it. It was a pain in the ass to do this firmware update. I plug it in, and it bought me another 2 weeks. So it didn't do shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? I was so frustrated. I had to return it. I was so upset because like it was working, dude. It worked. But Microsoft just put like a fucking something on there to like catch it and block it, and it drives me crazy. And they're like, yeah, we realized it didn't. I messaged them like, yeah, we realized it didn't work. We have a plan to update it later. For right now, we're honoring all refunds. And I'm like, yeah, you fucking better, because like this shit is frustrating.
So that's what this like fight pad does to like get around that is you plug in an actual controller into the fight pad itself, and then the system can see that, oh, okay, it just registers it as like a dual sense or, you know, like a normal controller.
Yeah.
It's like the stupidest fucking thing.
Yeah,
Like
I hate that.
that's like the most shitty thing. Like I had no idea that that was a problem on the consoles until I got this thing and I saw that that was what you had to do for the consoles, and I was like, this is stupid.
And the worst part is, it's not like it's a functionality issue. It's literally just they don't want you using third-party shit.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. I hate it. And it got me upset because I was like, fuck, how far does this go down? Like, I thought about like building my own fight stick and just like, oh, so first I thought about why don't I just like swap out the board on this stick for an Xbox board and call it a day. And I was like, well, what if they fucking block that board too? Like,
Yeah.
how do I know they're not going to block the board next? Like, fuck, I don't have a way around this, a surefire way around this without like just buying an officially licensed fight stick, and those are expensive as shit.
Yeah. So
It drives me crazy.
At the very least, these leverless Hout 42 controllers, they do have, you know, there's a USB slot on it. You plug a controller into that, and then it's seen as that controller. So
that's good.
They thought of that. I don't know. Yeah, for this Fly Digi thing, I don't think you could do anything like that. So
I doubt it.
Yeah, I don't know how they'll come up with anything. It does come with like one of those like 2.4 like receivers. So maybe you plug that into the console and like that's what like masks itself as a controller, but
maybe that'd be cool.
But yeah, so anyway, the
controller,
the controller is great. It's a great controller. Highly recommend. Highly recommend. We'll see what time how time fares on this thing, but
yeah,
as of right now, it's very good. Very good.
Well, that's good. You also playing Hollow Knight? You like Hollow Knight so far?
Yeah, I played Hollow Knight. Steam says I have 10 hours in it, which is crazy because it doesn't feel like either that's a very long game or I'm maybe like halfway through it. I have no idea. That game's fucking difficult. Actually, I want to do an anime review real quick.
Yeah?
Complete left turn here. I just want to talk about, I watched My Dress Up Darling.
Why?
Which is, I heard it was good. So that was all I knew about it. I didn't know anything else about it other than, hey, this is a good anime. You should check it out. And I'm just getting back into anime. So I was like, yeah, let's get back into anime. And this was just the first one that I saw. I was like, oh, this looks good. And it's like a cosplay anime.
Oh.
Which is cool. It's a unique, unique theme. And also there's like an underlying message, which I wholeheartedly agree with, which is, hey, if you like something, if there's something you're passionate about, you shouldn't have to hide it from anyone. You shouldn't have to be ashamed about it, no matter what it is. You know, you should like something and you should enjoy it. And that's, that's part of you. And
I like that. Yeah, I can get behind that.
I wholeheartedly agree with that message. So the guy,
unless you're a furry, keep that shit in the dark. But no, I'm kidding.
The guy in this anime, he's like into like dolls, like traditional like Japanese dolls, and so he like does all their like makeup and he makes their clothes for these like dolls, and he's like ashamed of that he's like into dolls and shit, and he meets this girl that's like into cosplay. And so he's like, oh, you can make my cosplay, and you're not ashamed, you're not gonna make fun of me because I like dolls and shit. And they're like, a match made in heaven. But then this thing does the tropey thing, which I call use a bitch ass motherfucker, is what I call is because it's this trope that I fucking hate, man, that these animes do, which is like the main character is just a fucking bitch the entire time.
I hate that. I know exactly what you mean. The plot like happens to them. I hate that shit.
Yeah.
I hate that shit so much.
They're such a brain dead fucking bitch, and it's so frustrating just watching them interact with anyone because you're like, dude, just get your shit together. And
Yeah, they're
make a
so
fucking...
passive and they let the plot happen around them. I hate that shit. I couldn't finish fucking Mongolian Chop Squad, Beck. It's like it's an anime about like a rock band, and the kid is like so fucking passive. I hate it. Like shit just happens to him. Like he decides to play guitar because like someone gave him a guitar, and he's like, I guess I'm gonna learn to play this now. And he just he just lets people push him around and boss him into this band and into the position. And it's like, dude, just this is so frustrating. Like,
yeah.
And the idea is they become a pretty successful band. And I was like, how do you fucking, this is so unrealistic that you could find any modicum of success just being this passive and letting the world make choices for you. That is fucking insane to me. Like,
yeah,
I hate that. I hate
like,
that
this
shit. That drives me crazy.
Way. But this is like the same thing, but like it's like the relationship thing. It does this like, oh, will they, won't they thing the whole fucking time, which is like the least interesting thing because the entire time he's a fucking bitch. And like the girl is like super confident, you know, she's like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna, oh, you need my bust size? Okay, well here, just do it. And he's like such a fucking bitch. Like, this is your job, man. Or not your job, but like, this is what you do. You make fucking clothes, man. Just fucking get her measurements and then make the shit. Whatever. And then they like end up, you know, they do the cosplay thing. And that's like super interesting because the cosplay is like really cool. They have like fake anime or like manga like for the show that they show you. Like there's like episodes of fake anime that they have that's like, oh, holy shit, I want to see that anime because that looks fucking cool. Like that's the cool shit, but then it gets into like this uninteresting thing of their stupid relationship, and he's such a fucking bitch the whole time, and then she starts falling for him, and now she's a fucking bitch. In the other direction, because like she was super confident before, but then now she's like, oh no, I'm actually falling for this guy. I couldn't possibly tell him how I feel, and it's just like so stupid.
Where the fuck did that come from? Like,
yeah,
he was so confident.
Yeah.
I hate that shit too. I hate that shit too. That's the thing I hate about like anime, these tropes, and you know why those tropes are there? It's because the people that watch the show are like that guy.
Yeah.
That's exactly why those tropes are there. So they're like, oh, I relate to him. I want a girl to just make all the decisions for me, and she's like okay.
She's the most popular girl in school, and turns out she's into anime and fucking Eero manga and shit. And it's like, yeah, these people like don't actually exist. Also, they're supposed to be like 15 years old in the show, but like they got like big ass titties, and you're like, age is like nothing but like a number. It doesn't actually exist for the reality sake of the show. Like, it's just, it doesn't like, and the chick who's actually older than everyone actually looks like a child, and it's just like, it just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense, and it's just like bullshit. And the cosplay thing is the cool part, but then like halfway through the show it like focuses on this relationship that you just don't give a fuck about. Just go back to the cosplay. You
should watch, and my only anime recommendation, and we'll get back into video games, but it's kind of relevant. High Score Girl is incredible. Have you heard of it?
High Score Girl?
Yeah. So it's an anime about video games. It's an anime about video games, about growing up in Japan in like the 80s and playing 80s arcade games. And it's not like they make up games. Like they name drop stuff. Like the guy talks about like playing Street Fighter 2, and he gets a Neo Geo, like a portable, and he talks about, oh, it's so cool, I can play Street Fighter 2 in school. And it's so funny the way it actually talks about the hardware and the games and the mechanics. Yeah. Like it's really cool. If you like video games, you'll like the show. Like it's really cool. Yeah, check it out.
Next on my to-do list. I started watching Demon Slayer on recommendation, and
it's all right. I think it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Like, again, it's like I realize that I'm not super into like the tropey shit, the super tropey shit. And
Same.
that shit is very tropey. It's just like demons, and oh no, we're the ones who kill demons, and oh no, these demons found out how to blend into like humankind. So
Okay. So little recommendations. If you don't like anime tropes, fucking Delicious in Dungeon is incredible.
delicious.
Watch that. Yeah. I think I've
Okay.
talked about this before. So here's the elevator pitch, right? Characters are in this dungeon. They're at the very, very low level of the dungeon, and they're fighting a dragon. They get their asses whooped because they didn't have enough food and supplies to like make it there. So by the time they finally get to this dragon, they're like tired and hungry and distracted. And the main character's sister ends up getting killed by the dragon. But right before it eats her, she teleports them out of the dungeon. So their predicament is they have no money, no food. They need to go back in there and save her because they can bring her back, but they're on a time limit. If they wait too long and she's fully digested, they can't bring her back. So, like, what do? Like, we don't have time. It took us like 2 weeks to get down there. We got like maybe a week tops to get there now. What do we do? And the guy's like, here's what we do. We don't buy food. We don't buy any more supplies. We eat the monsters in the dungeon to sustain ourselves on our way down.
Huh.
And it's fucking incredible because it goes into like the ecology of the dungeon. It explains like how these different creatures and monsters that you normally see in like fantasy games and anime, how they not just like operate but how they subsist off of each other, and how the whole ecosystem of this dungeon works. It has some of the most creative takes on creatures I have ever seen. And it explains like biologically how a lot of these monsters work while also incorporating the world's magic system into it. So the magic system is like part of the biology and ecology of this dungeon. It's so fucking cool.
Okay.
Yeah, as a Monster Hunter fan, which one of the things I love about Monster Hunter is that it explains biologically how these monsters work and their role in the ecosystem. This show's incredible, and it does that. And I love it for that. Like, go watch it. It's fucking awesome. If you want something that's goes against most anime tropes, Grimgar is another good one. It's an isekai anime, but it's super realistic. Like, one thing I hate about isekai is that these people get teleported into this world and suddenly everything's better for them, right? Like, they were huge losers where they came from. Now, because they play a lot of video games and they know how video games work, they could like kind of min-max their character. There's none of that in this show. It's very realistic. Imagine what it'd be like to actually fight a goblin, like in real life, right? Like something the size of like a child, but the strength of a human, that's fighting for its life, and it does not want to die as much as you don't want to die.
Yeah.
What that might feel like, that fight for survival, where that thing's on its last legs, giving it all it's got because it knows if it doesn't, it's dead. That's what this show is. Like, when they finally kill something, it's like, holy shit, because they work so fucking hard to get there. And you see, like, the struggle they go through, and they learn to work as a team. It's so good. It's like borderline like the anti-power fantasy anime, because they work so fucking hard to do it. And it's not like a montage of like, oh, we have a montage one episode and we leveled up. Like, no, like they try and try again. They get their asses kicked, and when they finally learn how to work together and how to fight, it's such a cool, like, uplifting experience to see that happen. And like the threat is real. The threat of death is like real throughout the whole show. It's really good. It only lasted one season. It bums me out because it ends on kind of a cliffhanger. But it's really good the way it handles its system. And I wish more shows took notes from Grimgar. But yeah, those are my anime recommendations. Yeah.
All right, I got some shit to watch.
Yeah, so that's it. Delicious in Dungeon. Put that on top of your list. Delicious in Dungeon. High Score Girl and Grimgar.
I did watch one good one. I just want to say one good one here.
Yeah.
Freerun Beyond Journey's End.
Oh, I heard that was good.
Fucking
I heard that was really good.
Incredible.
Yeah, I heard that was really good too.
It's like the Lord of the Rings, but what if it was like a video game, in the sense that it's like the heroes of a JRPG, but it's like after they kill the final boss, and it's like their lives after that. But also, like, the main character is an elf, so she lives way longer than the rest of the party. So it's like the rest of the party is like dying, and like she's still like living and going on her journey, and like that's all it is. It's just like there's like almost no action, but that's the beauty of it, because you have no idea where the fuck it's going. So your entire time you're watching this, you're like, they're just like walking and just doing like mundane shit, but it's super interesting because at some point like something is gonna happen, but you don't know what. And that's what I like, is like the unpredictable nature of it, because you watch Demon Slayer and you're like, oh, he's getting in another fight, he's never gonna lose, because he can't lose because he's the main character. But in something like this, you just have no idea, because there is no.
I heard it's good. I heard it's like there's a lot of philosophy behind it too, just because the main character lives so long.
Yeah.
It's her kind of re-examining, like, because like in her perspective, like her journey with those people was like the highlight of their life, but it was like a blip in her own existence, like by contrast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I've heard really good things about that. I want to check that out too. That's on my list. I like fantasy when they put the work in. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like fantasy if it's just filled with tropes.
Yeah.
And the tropes like write the story for you. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, tropes exist for a reason. I'm not saying everything needs to like subvert it, but like be clever in how you do it. Like, take another direction with it. Because if I wanted to watch just like this tropey filled like story, I would watch all the other shows or movies or read a book that does it better.
Yeah,
like what
that's why like My Dress Up Darling, it starts out really good. It's like just about the cosplay mostly, but then they focus on this stupid ass relationship, and he's such a bitch ass motherfucker the whole time. You're like, I don't care about this.
You'll like Delicious in Dungeon, because like another cool thing it does is that it builds the world really well, but it doesn't do it in a way that's like really exposition heavy. So you want to have characters sit around like, oh, as you know, and then they start talking about like the history of like the world. It comes up very naturally. Like it's just characters talking, and then something comes up where they mention like an event, and then you take a mental note of it, and you kind of piece it together throughout the show. There are some parts where they like dump exposition.
I hate about like most like shonen anime, where it's like a character will like monologue for like 3.5 minutes about, oh, you can't even tell that I've been suppressing my power level this whole time. Won't he be in for a surprise once I finally show him my ultimate technique? And it's just like, I hate that shit. I hate that shit, man. Yeah,
there's none of that in here, and a lot of it's like really natural, the way characters talk to each other, and you really understand like the politics of the world just based on like characters' conversations, and it sounds very organic the way it comes out. Like, I'm not gonna spoil it, but the way characters find out about, the way you learn about the world through the characters is really unique, and I love the way it handles it. Like, it's such a cool way to do it. There are some parts that get really exposition heavy, but it makes a lot of sense to the story. It doesn't just come out of nowhere, where characters are like, as you know, 100 years ago, we were at war with this race, and now things are kind of hard right now with them. Like, no, it comes up very naturally the way it happens, and when it does exposition dump, it's a way that's like relative to the story. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Like Frieren does the same thing, is because she is so old that shit happens and everyone just kind of like walks everywhere. So there's not a good like messaging system. So it's like 80 years after, they kill the final boss, and like things have transpired in that time, and she's just kind of walking around and not knowing, or like just in seclusion and not knowing like how the world has changed. So like when she does, retrace her steps a little, they're like, oh, you didn't know that this happened? I was like, this shit happens all the time. And then she's kind of like complacent about it too. She's like, I don't know, I've been around so long, I don't really give a fuck anymore.
That's cool. I'll check it out then. I've been playing quite a few games. I started up Borderlands 3 again when they announced Borderlands 4.
Yeah.
It's still fun. The game's cringe as fuck, and I hate the dialogue and all the jokes and everything that isn't gameplay, but it's still fun. Like,
play it on mute.
Yeah, that's literally what I've been doing. I'm playing it on mute. I have a podcast running in the background. Best way to play Borderlands 3.
Oh, I had a little discussion topic about. I didn't put this in a thing, but go on. We can.
Yeah, as you guys know, I fucking hate the dialogue in Borderlands 3. I hate the story. I hate the characters. I pretty much hate everything that isn't the gameplay. It's just so goddamn annoying. Nobody shuts the fuck up in that game. Everybody in that game is the fucking comedic relief. There's no straight man in that game, and it drives me fucking crazy. Just shut the fuck up. Let me play the game. And I wanted to say, playing it on mute and just having a podcast run in the background fixes some of the issues, but not entirely, because the game still expects you to sit around and wait while they do their Type 5. There's a lot of points where, like, I turn in a quest and characters need to just, like, share their Type 5 really quick. Oh my god. I saw this thing on, like, Reddit. Hold on, let me find it. Where someone, like, perfectly described why I fucking hate the dialogue in Borderlands. And it's, a normal line in a game. If you can get some fuel canisters, then I can reactivate the main generator and get our shields back up. I marked the objective on your map. Borderlands. Hey, bud. Great job killing all those mutants and all. You're really good at this. Shooting things, that is. One problem, though, is it turns out a bunch of monsters on the planet are going to tear out our eyes if we don't get the shield back up. And it's just my opinion, but that's going to suck. Not having eyes sounds terrible. This goes on for like 5 minutes. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but like, yeah, that is like the fucking epitome of why I fucking hate the game so much. Because they think they're so goddamn funny, and they're not. And I hate that I can't just like skip right to true Vault Hunter mode. I gotta play through the story, and I gotta sit there and listen to the jokes that weren't funny the first time and are fucking god awful the third, fourth time I listen to them. But the gameplay's fun. The gunplay is tight. The abilities are really cool. You have a lot of freedom in how you want to build your character. Respecking is super easy if you want to try something different. The gear is legitimately really unique. Like, it really does feel like a first-person Diablo, which is what they were going for. And if you like min-maxing, creating a build, this is a fun game to do that with. It's just the fucking dialogue and everything surrounding the story is fucking dog shit, and I hate it.
Here's my
I hate it.
Here's my hopes for Borderlands 4 is one, dialogue. It needs to either be actually funny or just significantly reduced.
Give me an option to skip it.
Or at least skippable, yeah. At least skippable.
Don't make me sit around and listen to like your jokes when I want to get to the next quest. Like, just let me skip through it. That's the thing that's driving me crazy about the game right now, is I have to sit there and listen to these characters just yes and off each other.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just want to fucking turn in the quest. Just let me turn the goddamn quest. And like, you're nothing but fucking loot and XP to me. Just fucking let me turn this shit in. I don't want to hear your Type 5. I don't want to hear your bit. I don't want to hear your funny joke. Just let me fucking turn this shit in. And again, playing it on mute doesn't completely fix that, because the game forces you to like sit there and listen to that while you turn in some of these quests or start them up. And I'm like, just fucking shut the fuck up. Just let me do this.
Yeah. But one of the other things I wanted them to add, I wanted them to do this in Borderlands 3, but they didn't. And I want them to do with what they did with the weapon system. I want that weapon system to transition into like an armor system, you know? Like, now, because the weapons are like, yeah, whatever, we've done this like 5 times now, but let's get like an armor system in there to kind of do the same thing. Because right now, because they only have like shields and like a artifact or some shit.
Yeah,
If
the
they did have,
shields,
like,
the
a-
artifact, and the class mods are like the three things you could like customize that aren't
Yeah, if they
weapons
had
and
like a
grenades.
if they had a full like armor system, then it really would be like Diablo as fuck. It'd be like, yeah,
I don't know if it needs all of that, but I would love to see more like class specific effects. Because the weapons are cool, but you can kind of change those up between each classes. Whereas with Diablo, it's like, oh, here's a weapon for like the Necromancer that specifically like buffs Necromancer abilities. I want to see more of that. Like, oh, here's a sniper rifle for, I don't know, Flak that like boosts his pet or something. Like, I want to see more of that because the only time you see anything like that is in the class mods. And I want to see that shit like in weapons now. I wouldn't know how that would work because you're swapping between weapons on the fly. So do you just have all those passives when it's equipped or just when you have the weapon out? Like, I don't know how to make that work, but it's not my job to make that work. So, but yeah, also like, let me skip dialogue. Like, for fuck's sake, let me skip it. Or at least once I unlock true Vault Hunter mode, let me just start it up. Let me just play it from there. And let me skip dialogue. Yeah, if you guys didn't hear, Borderlands 4 got announced, so that's why I wanted to play Borderlands 3 so bad. It's still a fun game. It's a fun game. It's a damn fine game. But seriously, the fucking dialogue and the story bring it from like a 9 out of 10 to like a 6 out of 10. I'm not even exaggerating. It just gets in the way of everything else I want to do. It drives me crazy. Atlas Fallen is fucking good. It's really fucking good. I was surprised. Have you played it yet? Have you played it yet?
I've never even heard of this.
So I guess it came out like a year ago, and it got some like pretty middling reviews. And then the game got an update recently called like Rain of Sand that completely overhauled a lot of the gameplay. And it's a lot of fun. It's an open world action game. So imagine like an open, like Nier Automata, like an open world, like Devil May Cry style action game. But here's what's cool about it. The momentum system is fucking incredible. So imagine like the style system from Devil May Cry, right? But as you level up your style, you unlock more moves and abilities depending on the level of style you reach. And you can customize what happens when you hit that rank. So you can unlock stuff like, oh, at this rank you do more damage, or at this rank you take less damage, or you have this ability to like throw a weapon at this rank, and at this rank you could like blow something up. It's so cool.
Okay.
And it's fully customizable. Yeah, you can customize it. So you can you find like these relics you can attach to the momentum system. So when you hit momentum rank 1, you can do more damage, and you unlock this I have this ability that lets me throw a hammer and bring it back to me. And at rank 2, I have an ability that lets me I think it like does an explosion or something. I only played for like an hour. And the whole time that's happening, when you hit the next rank of momentum, you unlock the next level for your weapon. So your weapon does more damage. It has more interesting combo strings. But the double-edged sword here is that the higher momentum goes up, yeah, you're doing more damage, you get more access to your abilities, but you can also take more damage the higher momentum is. Now, that gives you a choice. You want to circumvent that by like putting like defense ups on those higher momentums, or do you want to double down, do more damage, keep that like damage you take higher, but in the reverse, you do more damage on top of that. And if you're playing super well, it won't be a problem. Like, there's a lot of customization here. I wish I could like describe more of it, but there's seriously so many little mechanics here that I think are really fucking cool. The game has an air dash that's on a cooldown, but if you hit an enemy, it resets that cooldown. So you could like air dash to a flying enemy, attack them, air dash to another flying enemy, attack them, and it just resets your cooldown when you hit somebody. It's so cool.
Okay.
Same with the parry system. The parry's on a cooldown. If you do a perfect parry, it resets the cooldown instantly. So the game really wants to encourage you to like play aggressively. It has a healing mechanic, kind of like the Estus flasks from Dark Souls, but that healing refills when you start attacking enemies. So it forces you to play aggressively if you want to have access to healing. And you can put a relic on that healing ability, so you can have it do stuff like, oh, the healing refills faster, or you can heal yourself if you do like your ultimate attack. little things like that. Like, there's a lot of ways to customize how you want to play. I only played it for an hour, and I'm like, there's so much fucking potential here. Like, it's a lot of fun, dude. I can't adequately describe like how fun it really is. But
did I see this on Game Pass? Is that where
it's on Game Pass? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on Game Pass, so just check it out. It's surprisingly a lot of fun. It's the developers for it are the same guys that made The Surge, but it doesn't play like that at all. I want to say it's closer to like maybe Nier Automata or like Bayonetta, but even then it's like kind of a stretch because it does its own thing. Now, I will be honest though, as cool as it is, as much fun and potential I'm already seeing here, taper down that expectation like 20%. It's a AA game. It's got some AA jank you got to deal with. The combat can feel really floaty sometimes. It's not always obvious when enemies are attacking. It's not always obvious when your combos are connecting. There's a lot of jank that you need to work through with this. But if you can look past it, it's a really fun game. I think it could have been Game of the Year if it was polished even more. But it's a lot of fun, dude. I'm having a lot of fun with it so far. Yeah, it's... Oh, another cool thing the game does that I like, that was really neat. You could get what's called essence from killing enemies, like your XP. But you use that essence to upgrade your armor. And when you upgrade your armor, you get a perk point you get to keep. And you can put that perk point into a skill tree to level up your character. So there's incentive to like buy more equipment, level that up, experiment with it. Because even if you don't use the equipment, you still have that perk point from upgrading it to upgrade your character. Oh. So there's a lot of cool little things here that work together to make it really fun and interconnected with the way it handles its loot, its gear, its leveling. It's just, like I said, it could use a little bit more polish, but I like what I'm playing so far. I think it's a lot of fun. I'm probably gonna play it again, honestly. Be careful looking up reviews on it because the game just had its most recent update, and that's the one that's on Game Pass, Reign of the Sand, and apparently that's like a complete overhaul of the game. The game got a lot of flack when it came out, and this update takes care of a lot of that. So if you see any reviews that are older than like a couple weeks, ignore them because this update's supposed to fix all those issues. That was my problem. I looked at a lot of reviews on it. I was like, oh, these reviews aren't really happy about it, but what's this Reign of the Sand thing? And it wasn't until I looked it up, I was like, oh, this is like an update that fixes everything the reviews are bitching about. So yeah, go check it out. It's on Game Pass. It's a lot of fun. I'm having a blast with it, dude. I couldn't tell you about the story. I don't care about the story, but the game's a lot of fun to play. Okay. I mean, I guess I didn't pretend the story's super interesting, but it's a fun little hidden gem. Go check it out.
All right, that's Atlas.
Atlas Fallen, yeah.
Atlas Fallen.
Yeah. I picked up Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance. It's a lot of fun. That's all I'm gonna say. It's a lot of fun. It's dark, oppressive. The exploration's great. Vengeance adds even more quality of life stuff to make the exploration less tedious, less annoying. It's fun to run around, get lost in the overworld, and explore things, try to find secrets and enemies, and subquests are all super fun. The combat is very deliberate, so make sure if a boss kicks your ass, a lot of times it's not grinding that's going to help you. It's changing out your team, changing out your abilities. The game makes it super easy to do that. You can basically switch your character's weaknesses and strengths on the fly. There's some items you can find to like respec your character if you think it went down the wrong direction. It's the only thing you really have to grind for, I would argue, is maybe money to like buy back demons you've already fused. But even then, like, I haven't had an issue with it. Granted, I've been playing SNT and Persona forever, so I kind of know how these games work. But it's a lot of fun. If you want Persona with a bit more bite, if you thought Persona was too easy, pick up SNT. Don't go into this expecting like waifus and the power of friendship, though. This is like end of days. God's Old Testament as fuck. It has to do a lot with like the philosophy of the game isn't so much good versus evil. It's like order versus chaos, right? It's like safety and security versus like freedom and chaos is what the ideals are. And again, God is like Old Testament as fuck in this game. Lucifer is based a lot on like the Paradise Lost Lucifer. Right, better to rule in hell than to serve in heaven, Lucifer, if you're a literary junkie. So it's not so much what's the good thing, what's the right thing. It's like what's the philosophical idea that you agree with is what you play through here. And the game makes it a bit harder to make that choice than you would expect. But it's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's really fun, despite how oppressive and like hard it can be sometimes. Go pick it up. It's on everything now: Switch, PC, Xbox, PlayStation. So go play it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good as fuck. Yeah, that's all I played so far. So let's get into. God, we've been talking for like an hour and a half already. We're barely going into the Gamescom highlights. So opening up Starfield is probably the first really big thing they talked about. Their new expansion is dropping September 30th, and they finally included a fucking vehicle in the game. It's available right now to go play.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, this is not enough to get me back into Starfield.
Nope.
Yeah, no. Did you have anything you want to say about Starfield? Or you want to move on to Indiana Jones?
Indiana Jones is coming out. Got a release date for December 9th, but then also a release date for PS5 spring next year.
Yep.
So
keep talking. I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
So that was so when that happened, that was some of the big controversy. People were upset at this. I guess maybe not the fact that it's coming to PS5, but the fact that it's coming so soon. Or the fact that they announced it's coming to PS5 before it's even released on the Xbox. So I think that's people were kind of upset about that. Like, okay, well then why would I buy this on Xbox? Why would I even buy an Xbox? Why don't I just wait for it to come out on PS5? And you're not wrong, but I don't think that this is any reason for people to be upset. But I'm also a guy that just doesn't give a fuck. I also just
same.
I play on PC, and that's where I'm going to play this. And I would,
that's the kicker. There is like you can get it on PC. So even if you don't have an Xbox or a PlayStation, if you're somehow still on the fence, if you have a PC, you can already play it. So
yeah, and I'm not even the biggest Indiana Jones fan.
Me neither.
I just like the game looks okay. You know, it looks like it could be fun.
Yeah,
it's going to be on Game Pass, so that's where I'm going to play it.
Yeah, same.
And I don't know, it's just nice, the people will be able to play the game wherever they happen to play games. I think that's
exactly.
A good thing.
Exactly. Like I wish Spider-Man 2 would fucking come to PC already, but
yeah.
I don't even know. I don't know when or if it's going to happen. It probably is going to happen eventually, but I'll have to wait like another year most likely.
No, it is. It leaked on PC. Like people have been playing it. Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay then.
It exists on PC in full already, in some form, in a leaked form, but not like officially. I don't know what that thing is, but it is like the full game playable on PC. It's fucking crazy.
Okay, cool then. So. Honestly, honestly, like console exclusives have been a thing for so long, they don't have to be a thing anymore. So I get it. But I'm gonna be honest, man. If you're a huge gamer and you're still playing on console, you're fucking up. Like PC is really where it's at, dude. I understand PC is not for everybody. It's not the most accessible thing. The cost of entry for a PC is much higher than a console. I get it. But if you want to play your games the way you want to play them, unhindered, and be able to play them the next generation, PC all the way, man. It's fully backwards compatible. I don't have to wait for someone to remaster or re-release it on my current system to play it.
Even they just announced Final Fantasy 16 is coming to PC like in a few weeks. Like that shit is coming soon.
Yeah. And it's fucking cheaper. It's like $50.
Yeah.
Granted, I gotta buy all the DLC separately, but it's $50 day one. Like, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, so that's me, dude. I'm a PC gamer from the. At my core, I'm gonna play on PC. I might play on Xbox occasionally. And to be honest, the reason I told you this before, they fucking got me. The only reason I bought an Xbox is because I had Game Pass on PC already. So I was like, oh, I might as well just get an Xbox. Get Game Pass on Xbox, so I can get all those games. But
I think we talked about it like last show, is that when you get these consoles and you've had them for like X amount of like we'll say like 2 generations now. If you had a PS4 and a PS5, it's so much harder to make any sort of switch from that, because now you're so entrenched in that platform that none of your shit is going to carry with you if you went to PC or Xbox. Like, it's so much harder to make a switch.
And I get it. Like, I went from PS3 to PS4 to Xbox, and it's a pain in the ass because I'm like, all these games I bought on my PS4 and my PS3, if I had an Xbox in the beginning, I'd still be playing them, but I don't. So I have to like start over. Yeah,
it was easier for me on PS3 is when I got into PC, and that's because your shit didn't carry over to PS4. So it was a lot easier then to be like, oh, okay, I'll make the switch now. But yeah, PS4 to PC or to like Xbox is a lot harder because you know that library goes with you. So,
and even then, it doesn't always go with you. Like, it's just if they decide it goes with you. Like, if they release a PlayStation 6, there's no guarantee your library is going to carry over there. It should, because that's what kind of the trend right now is to make shit backwards compatible, but they have no legal obligation to do that. So,
but their obligation is that they can lock you into the platform if they.
That's true.
If they say no, it comes with you, and
yeah. So that's kind of where I fell off too. When like nothing was carrying over, I was like, I might as well just get a PC, and it was the best investment I could have made because my PC is going to be with me forever. I could upgrade it if I need to. Even if I upgrade it, all those older games still be compatible for the most part.
And then most games are still coming to PC, so you do get like most of that PS3 library I've replaced on my PC at this point.
Yeah,
and
same.
Then like you're still getting like console ports of these exclusive games. Like I got Returnal on PC, I've got Last of Us on PC, got God of War, I got Horizon. All those Xbox games are on there. It's like you get pretty much everything on PC. Like the only thing you don't get is like Nintendo, which is the combos, like Nintendo and PC. It's like all you really need.
Yeah, I'll argue too. If you get Nintendo and a PC, that's all you need. You're good.
Yeah.
You've got all your bases covered. You might have to wait a little bit longer for like Last of Us 2 to come out on PC, but you'll be fine. Diablo 4 got some cool announcements. Party Finders being added for all content. Scrolls or retempering is being added, so you can reset your temper of an item once. I love that.
Yeah. Break an item that you got, like a greater affix item. That's happened to me so many times where I'd like roll for tempers and I'd get the same temper over and over again. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
I hate that.
Yeah. So
I would hate that. Once you roll on something,
you shouldn't be able to get it again. It should be like it should work like iPod Shuffle, where it's like there's an algorithm that's like, okay, we played this artist, and now we're gonna like not. Because like remember it came out like iPod Shuffle's like algorithm. It's not truly random. There's like some algorithm in there that prevents repeats. So if like an artist plays, it's like, okay, we're not going to give you that artist twice in a row.
2 options to roll. There should be an option to roll your temper for another one, or if you want to take the chance to re-roll it to get a higher value. It should let you choose which roll you're trying to make. That way I can put that on myself, because right now it's already in that pool. So if it's like I don't want this temper and it keeps giving me that temper over and over again, that's gonna piss me off really quick. If you let me say, hey, I don't want this temper, I'm trying to get something else, let me pull that lever and take that out of the equation.
I don't know if you played many gacha games, but one thing they started to do is that you can't choose like what you actually just want and get that. but you can make a choice that's like, here's what I'm aiming for, and it gives you like a 50% increased chance of getting that thing that you actually want. It's super fucking dumb, and I don't advocate for it, but it would be better than just complete random, you know.
Or just let me keep re-rolling. Like the fact that I could like run out of rolls.
Yeah.
Like that drives me nuts. If it didn't let me run out of rolls, if it cost me a resource, give me like X amount of free rolls, and then after that make it cost a resource, that's fine with me. Let me keep rolling at it. But to like limit it, that's gonna piss me off really quick if I roll like 4 times and it's not what I want every fucking time. And I'm like, okay, cool, this item that was awesome is fucking useless now.
Yeah.
Genshin Impact is coming to Xbox November 20th. You could already pre-order it. So you can get like a starter pack for like $10 and it gets you all this cool stuff to start with. I saw it on the Xbox store, so go check that out if you want to try it. We already said Borderlands 4 got its official trailer, so go check that out. It's super quick, 0 gameplay. It's happening. So we'll see what happens with that. Call me once the characters get announced. I want to see what those look like, what they play like. Path of Exile 2 is entering early access November 15th. I kind of want to try it.
Yep.
And probably the highlight of the show.
Yes.
Tim Miller revealed a new series called Secret Level. Now, if you don't know, Tim Miller was the spearhead behind Love, Death, and Robots on Netflix. He also worked on the Deadpool movie, which if you haven't watched Love, Death, and Robots yet, incredible. Fucking incredible anthology series. Go watch it. And they're doing that for video games. It's releasing December 10th. The trailer showed off Kratos, Mega Man, Sifu. I thought I saw Warhammer in there. I might be going crazy.
Yeah.
I thought I saw Uncharted there too.
Yeah. Mega Man, which is crazy. Pac-Man.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff. And it's going to be an anthology series, which I think is the best way to do it, honestly.
Yeah.
Or they can do the fucking Captain Laserhawk thing and just like make up their own shit and put all this stuff together. But if you haven't seen Captain Laserhawk, it's fucking awesome. But this is cool too. Just a bunch of not shorts, but anthology like stories with some games and characters that you love. I wonder how they're going to do it. I want to see what stories they tell with these, but I'm down for it, man. I want to check it out. It's dropping December 10th on Amazon. I'm definitely going to check it out. I can't wait for it.
Yeah.
Then releases, we got Friday, August 23rd. Concord is dropping on PC and PS5. 9 years that game was being worked on, according to that post Hamtaro made. 9 years.
Yeah, I saw like 8 to 10 years, which is crazy.
That's fucking wild, dude.
So you can play this game right now if you like buy the $90 version or whatever the fuck, the $60 version. If you look at the Steam reviews, it is very positive on Steam right now. And you know why that is. It's because everyone's making reviews right now, paid extra to play the game early. So, of course, there's going to be some bias there on the people making the reviews right now. But I don't know, man. The game's not terrible from what I played in the beta. So,
yeah, but is it good enough to like take your attention away from like Overwatch 2, Apex Legends, that Marvel fucking hero shooter? I think Gundam's got a hero shooter now.
Yeah, not anymore. But
not anymore? Okay, there we go then.
Yeah.
Is it good enough to like stand out in the already really saturated market of live service hero shooters? And it's not free to play. Like
that's the thing. There's a spot for it can slot in to where like Destiny's Crucible isn't great anymore, and like people are kind of a little sour on Overwatch 2. Like I feel like there's a slot there that it can slide right in to where this crowd of people are not pleased. Like that Overwatch crowd and that like Crucible crowd, it's like right in there. It fits right in there because the gunplay is like on par with like a Destiny Crucible, and like it kind of, you can have that like party dynamics of an Overwatch, and it just has that where it's like the gunplay is there and the team based stuff is there, and I feel like it has that, but I just don't know if the audience is there. So
yeah, that's the thing too.
I like on all these reviews they're getting like the clown the clown awards. Like, this is funny, man. Yeah. Yeah, I'm curious to see where this ends up landing. So
yeah, I'm curious to see where it lands too. I mean, we'll see what happens when it comes out, man. But I'm not gonna hold my breath. It's gonna like set the world on fire or anything.
yeah.
Harvest Moon, Home Sweet Home is dropping on mobile. August 26th, we got Fairy Tale Dungeons dropping on PC. World of Warcraft, The War Within dropping on PC. World of Warcraft is crazy, dude. They're still getting expansions for this. Like, how old is this game? Like 20 years old?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know anything about this. So
Oh my god, yeah, it's gonna be 20 years old this November.
shit, man.
And November 23rd, 2004 is when World of Warcraft first released.
These World of Warcraft expansions always seem like, no matter how sour people are on them, it's always successful. Like, you just got people that have just been playing World of Warcraft for their whole lives, but just can't do anything else. My roommate plays World of Warcraft. He's been playing since the beginning. He plays it every fucking day. And he came at me one day and was like, "Hey, I'm gonna try to get into. Everyone's playing Final Fantasy now, so I'm gonna try to. We're talking about that, but he just never, never did it. Just still World of Warcrafting. So
I've like tried to get into MMOs, man. I think my brain's just not wired for MMOs. Like, I tried the Star Wars MMO, and that wasn't enough to get me into them. When I was in before I met my wife, there was this girl I was trying to spit some game at. And she convinced me to buy the Final Fantasy MMO because she was playing it.
Yeah.
So she convinced me to like go out and buy it. I went out and bought it so we can play together. And I still like, even with like the potential of booty, I was like, I still can't play this game. It's not jiving with me.
I like the ones that are more just action games, but you can just play them. There's just other people around. It's like Phantasy Star Online is still my favorite. Just because it plays like a Monster Hunter almost. Like, you get a party of 4 people, and then you go into like a mission and just do the mission, or you just do it by yourself, and then you come out whatever resources you have, and then that's the thing. Like PSO2 is like way better because it does the thing that I want every MMO to do, which is I don't want to look like anyone else when I'm playing these games. Yeah. And like PSO2 is the only game that has like the customization through the roof. Like, it's so fucking good. Like, just the stuff. They call it Fashion Star Online because that's like what it is. Like, you're playing for like the fashion of it. If you go on like the Reddit, it's just people posting like screenshots of their like cosplay characters or like the Gundams they make. You can make fucking Gundams and that shit. Like, the customization is insane in that game. So like,
I gotta check it out. I feel like I would like it a lot. I just gotta like
on top of that, it's just straight up an action game. Like, you hit the button, you do an attack, and like that's it. Like, there's no cooldowns, there's none of that like MMO shit. Like, it's very modern. So yeah, but World of Warcraft still going.
Still going.
I thought at this point they would be like a console version of this, man.
You think so?
Yeah.
You think so? Or like, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. They're still making money on it. They're still doing super well with it. Like, they're doing something right. So
yeah.
Far be it from me to tell them what they should and shouldn't do. Next we got Core Keeper dropping on PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, August 27th. I opened up the Steam page for that. That fucking dude on the cover looks like Lloyd Irving from Tales of Symphonia.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see it?
Wrong.
You see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I played Tales of Symphonia for like a little bit. So
that's the best one.
That's what everyone tells me, but I still didn't jive with it. I think I just don't like the Tales of games. I tried playing the newest one, Tales of Abyss. Is that the newest one? No. What's the newest one?
Tales of Arise.
Yeah, and it's not my cup of tea.
It's just it feels like it hasn't evolved any. It just feels like super old school. It's weird. Like the dungeon
Which is funny because this one's
and...
like the newest one, but it still feels really like hollow. The combos feel really. I think my problem is that I go into it expecting like Devil May Cry or like Bayonetta, and that's not what it is.
Yeah.
I should go into it expecting like an action heavy. I should go into it expecting Final Fantasy with real time action. Is what I should expect when I go into it.
But it's like even aside from that, just the way it's designed, like the dungeon designs are super linear, and it just feels like it's from a bygone era where we're like just kind of like past that kind of design now. Not to say it should just be open world, because that's like the logical, that's where you would go, but it doesn't necessarily need to be like super open world. But
yeah, I don't know what to do to fix it. I'm not a fan of the Tales of games, so it could be possible. The stuff I'm bitching about is stuff that people love about it. So I don't know. Yeah. All I know is I go into expecting one thing. That's not quite what I get. I'll argue the fucking East games are doing that, but better.
Yeah.
Yeah, like East is a lot more action heavy. The combat happens like on the same plane as your exploration. You don't just go to like a separate screen when a fight starts. There's no like a fighting mode. Like, here's exploration mode, you get into a fight, here's fighting mode. It's just all there all the time. I feel like they should take some stuff from East, but I don't know. Far be it for me to like judge a franchise people love and play like crazy as a newcomer coming in. Like, here's what I would do to make this game play like other games I like and not like the game you like. Yeah, Crypt Custodian dropping on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Series X. Yeah, Lord of the Rings Return to Moria dropping on Series X. What is this? Like a strategy game? Oh, survival crafting game. Set in the world of Lord of the Rings. That's cool. I mean, I'm out too, but it's interesting. Like,
yeah, that type of game and a Lord of the Rings thing, sure.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Lord of the Rings fan though, so. Risk of Rain 2 dropping on PS5 and Series X. I've heard good things about Risk of Rain 2.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I should just check it out already. And then we got Snezinka. That can't be right. Snezinka? Is that like
seems pretty close.
Is that the catchphrase from that, what's his name, Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory? Snezinka? Isn't that his catchphrase?
No, that's a Bazinga.
Oh. I don't know. I watch good shows. I tried watching an episode of Big Bang Theory. It's like, it's okay. I don't want to sit here and shit on it because it's like what everyone wants to shit on, but it's all right.
You've seen more than me.
It's not my cup of tea. I've watched like 2 episodes and I'm like, I can see the appeal, but it's not my appeal. What is this game? Like a tower defense game? Snezinka.
Action roguelike twin stick shooter.
Okay.
Purchasing cards and hold the line against waves of hostile mechs as an employee of a private military company.
And they're all like high school girls in skirts. Okay.
Well, in anime, your age isn't really a factor, and it's all about what you look like and not about what the number is.
Can you imagine if like real life worked like anime? Like the US hires a bunch of PMCs to go into Afghanistan and they're all like a bunch of fucking high school girls.
In like bathing suits and like
yeah. They just roll up to fucking Afghanistan, they take out Osama bin Laden, like, oh, kawaii desu. Oni-san. Oh man, someone should make. If there's any artists here, I want to see some anime waifus like.
No, there is
SEAL Team 6ing Osama bin Laden.
There's girls und Panzer.
What? What are you talking about?
It might even be a game, but I know there's an anime called Girls und Panzer, which is like, it's actually extremely historically accurate, but they use like anime girls instead of like military personnel.
That's pretty funny.
But
Again,
it's like,
any artists, I will commission. Just hit me up. I will commission a piece of a bunch of like anime girls, like SEAL Team 6ing Osama bin Laden. I would love to see what that looks like. Oh, this is Sentinel Girls 2. This is a sequel.
oh,
Well, that's actually you put Sentinel Girls 2 in the doc, but I don't see Sentinel Girls 2 anywhere on the actual page. Oh, here it is.
no,
in
it's
little
Sentinels
text.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. Or Sentinel Girls 1.
This looks like a $5 game.
Yeah, it does. Oh well. I'll probably forget about it when it comes out in like 3 days. Yeah, that's gonna do it for the show, everybody. Thank you all so much for coming in, listen to us talk about like anime and fat guys before we actually talked about video games. This has been fun, man. I love doing this. Gamescom is still going, right? So you can check that out. I
Yeah.
don't think there's any like big announcements set to come out. Like they usually save all the big announcements the first day, right?
Yeah, but there's a lot of random stuff coming out. Like
Yeah.
Monaco 2 was announced. There's a lot of like random ass fucking announcements coming out. So I've been looking at that stuff just as it comes in.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's gonna
Oh
do
wow.
it.
Fucking, I don't know if you've seen the costs for. Hold on. Oh yeah, media cards are like. I'm trying to look at like costs for like Gamescom tickets, and they're like $30 euro. I don't know what that translates to like US dollars. Hold on.
The
I'm
Callisto
curious how-
Protocol is free on Epic right now.
Oh, is it? I'll check it out then.
Yeah.
I will check it out. I'm going to go to Epic right now. All right, that's going to do it, everybody. Thank you all so much for coming in, listen to us talk and rant. We're on the Discord, so
Yeah.
come in, say hi, talk some shit. Just don't let y'all talk some shit right back. But be cool, be safe, be nice to each other, and we'll see you all next week.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.